All right, everyone. Sorry for the late post, but here we go. So you have until midnight if you want to get this in. Submit it online on Google Classroom. Number 25, on your paper, sketch the two triangles at right and label them with the following information. All right, so talking about these two down here. Angle F equals 25 degrees. So you want to do that, and you put 25. Angle A equals 73 degrees. BC is equal to EF. So BC, so this one down here, that's equal to EF, which is 44. And then angle C and angle G are 82. So angle C, 82. Angle G, also 82. Okay. Are the triangles congruent? If so, describe a series of rigid transformation that maps one triangle onto the next. If not, they are not congruent. Explain why not. Okay, so first let's start with the angles. Right? So we've got, so let's find this missing angle right here. Okay. That angle right there. So you can find it by taking 180 and subtracting 73, subtracting 82. Okay, so all I did was in this triangle here, there's 180 degrees, and I took away 73, and I took away 82, and that should leave me with this angle. That's all I did. And that gives me 25. So this angle is 25, which matches with this angle, actually. So both these angles, I'll put them in blue. Okay. And to find out this third angle here, I'll put in green. So in this triangle here, you start with 180 degrees. You take away what you know. So you take away 82, take away 25, and that gets you 73. So this angle here is 73 degrees. I'll put in green, which matches exactly with this angle here, which is 73 degrees. Okay, so all the angles match actually, but angles matching does not mean that they are congruent. Okay, you need two angles and you need one side. And let me see, I have, it looks like I have a blue angle, right? With in between, so a blue angle, 44 in the middle, and then 73. And then over here, it looks like a blue angle, 44, and then the 82. So it actually doesn't match. If this 44 was right here, blue angle, 44, 82, it would work. So this one actually doesn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna say not congruent. Okay, it's not angle side angle, and also not angle side. Right, so just like how I said. Okay. Are the triangles of the right congruent? If so, describe a series of transformations that maps one triangle onto the other. Let's see. You know what? Let's see. Let's find the missing angle. Right. So let's, for this first angle, first triangle here, let's start with 180 minus 55 and minus that little box down here. That's 90. So that means that the missing angle is 35. So this one's 35. Right, and if I do the same math for this triangle here, I go 180, take away 35, take away, and again, this square right here means 90, so you get 55. And you know what? All the angles match actually. But again, that doesn't mean that they're congruent because you need the angle side or angle side angle. And again, all we know are two angles and no sides, or we actually know all three angles. So this one is not congruent. Okay. And again, they're not by angle side, and also not angle side angle. Okay. All we have is just angle, and that's not enough for congruent. Okay. And the last one, if the ball drops 160 centimeters from 160 centimeters and rebounds to 120 meters on the first bounce, how high will the ball be on the second bounce and all whatnot? Right. So I think this one, it's probably best to make a table, right? So this is let's see, this is the bounce, and this is the height. So it starts, so bounce 0, so no bounces. It starts at 160 centimeters. And then if it drops and bounces one time, it's 120. Right? So, I mean, we can say, you know what? It loses 160 minus 20 is it loses 40 each time. Right? But, you know, a ball bounces, right? Let's think about how a ball bounces. Let's say it starts up here and it bounce, then bounce, then bounce, and bounce, and bounce, and bounce, and bounce, and bounce, and bounce, right? Like that. And it will actually never ever go below the 0. Right? It will never bounce below the ground. Right? If we keep subtracting 40, we will actually get below 0. Right? So if we go 160 and minus 40, right? 120. I mean, that works. And then we go minus 40 again. That makes 80 minus 40. That's 40 minus 40. That means after 4 bounces, it's on the ground. And at 5 bounces, oh, does that mean it's underground 40 and underground 80 and underground 120? No, it just means that this assumption of minus 40 is wrong, right? So what does it have to be? Well, then that means that it's a percent of what we lose, and they will never actually lose all of it. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to look at where is it after one bounce, which is 120, and then how much do we lose over out of the original amount. So we're going to divide it by 160. So it's kind of like if you got 8 out of 10, right? If it was possible out of 10, but you only got 8, you would go 8 divided by 10 and see what that is, right? And that would be, that would mean that that's 0.75, right? So meaning that to go from 160 to 120, right? I would have to multiply it by 0.75. Okay, and 0.75 is 3/4. So basically, you can kind of say it's just multiplication by 3/4. I don't we need the parentheses. Just 3/4. Right? So that's multiplication by 3/4. And let's see if that works. So 160 multiplication by 3/4, or you can say 0.75. It's either way is fine. And that gets you 120. Right? So at the second bounce, you get to take 120 and times it by 3/4. That gets you 90. So second bounce is 90. So on the second bounce, this is going to be 90 centimeters. Okay. And to go from, so we multiply by 3/4 again. All right, so to get the next one, the third bounce, I have to go 90 times 3/4. And I've already done that twice, so I could just hit enter. So this is the second bounce right here. This is 90. Third bounce is right there. Fourth bounce is right there. Fifth bounce is 37.96875. So 37.96875. And that's how we get to the third bounce. Fifth bounce. Oh, yeah. So fifth bounce is 37. Sorry, I wrote it wrong. 37.96875 centimeters. Yeah. Third bounce was right here. Third bounce was 67.5. Okay. So I wrote that wrong. So third bounce was 67.5. Right, but you just keep doing that. So, we don't want to just keep doing that forever, because we want to write a formula for the nth bounce, right? So, so what's happening, right? So let's write this formula as T of n equals, right? We start with the first one, or the zeroth bounce, with the zeroth term, which is 160. And then what's happening every time? Well, we're actually multiplying this by 3/4. And then that's to the nth power, or the x power. And that's how we find the nth bounce, or what the nth term is. So let's see if this works. Right? So it's 160 parentheses 3 divided by 4, and to the power of, and if we want 2 bounces, we just put 2, and that should get us 90 right here. See that? And if we want to know 5, then we just change that 2 to 5, and that should give 37.96875. See that? Okay. All right. That's a wrap, everyone. I think that's the last one. Yep. This is homework number 3. See you next time.